上艺术，得不到你的人只剩下了嫉妒。
Hi, welcome to the Sundays with Dr. Enimoa. My name is Dr. Enimoa, and welcome here. Today we're talking about things that personally I have worked on so that I can become a better friend. See, my husband thinks that I have many friends, but my friends know that I don't have many friends because I'm very friendly, and so I'll see you, I'll talk to you, I'll laugh with you. That doesn't mean that we are friends. But in growing up and ensuring that I have authentic and genuine people around me, I've had to do a lot of reflection and work on myself as a person to be able to be a better friend for the people around me. Because I do have green flags. I do have things that I see in people that I'm like, this is not a good thing. And this is not someone I want as a friend. And there are some things I'm like, I like this. Is something I want as a friend. And so when I started looking out for those flags, and whether green or red, I realized, oh my goodness, anymore. You also need to be a better person and to be able to be a good friend to the people that come around you as well. So if there's something that you're interested in listening to see what I'm working on, what I've worked on, stay tuned, like, subscribe. Why are you watching up to this point and you haven't subscribed? Why? Talk to you soon. So the first thing that I have worked on is not being entitled. See, I feel like, and probably call me out if you think I'm wrong, but I come from a culture where there is entitlement. People are so entitled to people's money, to people's time. And I figured it out when someone that I thought was a friend got married and did not tell me. I had dreamt about their marriage, I think 2 years prior. And the marriage happened around the same time that she got married. So let's say I dreamt that she got married around, it was beginning of the year, I think April, May or so, or March, April, one of those months, or February, something like beginning of the year. And she got married that same month, 2 years later. And then she did not tell me. I was hurt because when I got married, this person was not in the country, but I told them. And then they did not give me a reason why they they never told me. I was hurt, and I'm like, okay. I sat down and I thought about it and I said, anymore, why? The fact that they did not tell you that they were going to get married, isn't you being entitled to information about them? Do you tell this person everything that goes on in your life? Yes, granted, you told them you're going to get married, but when it got to their time to get married, they did not tell you. Move on. That shouldn't sort of uh, give you a perception or a judgment about this person in a bad light. It could be anything. And then I remember that whilst when I was getting married and I was planning for my wedding, the number of people I forgot to tell that I remembered after the wedding. And then they came out like, oh, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. It wasn't that I didn't want to tell them. Sometimes the things that you're going through, you just don't tell people. And so from then, that was in 2019, I decided that anyone know you have to work on not being entitled to people's time, to people's money, to the information that people have. If they see you as a friend, they would share it with you. But that one thing shouldn't cloud your judgment about this person because they probably have done some great things in the past, and they have actually done some great things in the past. And so this is one of the things I'm working less on being entitled. I call my friend, they don't pick up, and I see them on social media. I am not going to say I was calling you and you know what is going on in people's life. There are times that I am so down and I'm just on social media watching reels and I'm laughing and I'm smiling. At that point in time, my cup is empty. I cannot feel. So if you're calling me because you want an advice or something, I cannot feel. And I'll tell you, please test me. Please test me. Can I call you back later? If it's urgent, what is it? Like test me so I know it's urgent. I would probably pick up myself, but I'm not going to be entitled to, I saw you on social media, why you not pick? Let me know if I'm right. I'm learning not to be entitled. I'm just learning not to be entitled to people's money. You ask them for money and then they don't give you, and you see them spending their own money that they worked for. It's hard, but I think I've heard people say, if your friend doesn't give you money, if you ask your friend for 2,000 or 2,000 Ghana cedis, whatever currency, and they don't give you, but you see them spending money, then that friend is not a true friend. Sorry, I have an unpopular opinion. I don't believe that. If your friend doesn't give you that money, then you see your friend on social media doing a giveaway, then probably you're like, okay, you're going to give this money out. So maybe ask them for $2,000 and they're doing a giveaway of $3,000. They're like, I asked you that money, you did not even give me. Then you're like, But when they go out with their family or they're eating in a restaurant and you feel like, no, you did not work for them. So there is that, like, you should really need to sit back. And I feel like one of the things that I'm also working on in line with being less entitled is being reflective, sometimes taking things back and reflecting on them and sort of making it make sense before I judge people based on that. So not judging people using my lower level of thinking or my unconsciousness, but judging people based on my consciousness, my higher level of thinking, having sat down and reflected through all the facts, I'm able to make a decision. So yeah. So yeah, being reflective is something that I'm working on more, and not making snap judgments from my own consciousness. Not being judgmental. I think I started doing this when I started working in the social work field and just working in general in the kind of work that I do. You don't have to be judgmental. People are so judgmental. People are so judgmental. It's so sickening. Um, I have a friend that is very judgmental. And so I'm very mindful of what I tell this person because this will never, I will never do that. I mean, I know that in my videos sometimes like that can never be me. But when someone comes to you and they are telling you something that they've been through and the consequences were negative, that is not the time for you to judge them for their actions. Say, really? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I would never do that. This is never. I'm learning not to be judgmental. So I'm learning to really listen to people and understand where they're coming from. And that space and time, that's not going to be say, why would you do that? Making that person feel stupid. They're already stupid. Or they're already feeling stupid for what they did. This is not the time for you to wrap it in. People that are judgmental, they sort of ache me off. I probably won't cut myself off from me, but I'll tell you that I don't like that you're judgmental, or I'll just stop telling you things. And then after you've even stopped talking about that, they'll go back there. Why would you do that? This is if we start hammering on some of the things that you do, we will still be here. So we need to work on not being judgmental. We all can be perfect. So Miss Perfect, Mr. Perfect, Mr. and Mrs. Perfect, they perfect. This is not the time or the place. One thing I'm also working on is to pray for my friends a lot when I think about them. If I think about someone, two things, immediately I would check up on them when they come into mind. And if I'm not able to check up on them because for some reason I'm in a space where I can't, maybe probably at my work, I'm in a meeting, or I don't have my phone around them, I'll pray for them. Because I feel like it's just the universe telling you something. When you think about someone, you need to take an action. And if you can't take an action in that moment by calling them, checking up on them, you pray for them. And so I just pray for people. And sometimes I hear things about people. Like I see someone on social media, like, oh, and then I'll just pray for them, or I'll just reach out to them, or I think about someone. So that's something that I'm doing more. And so probably as my friend, I have not checked in a while because I like low maintenance friendship, but I'm praying for you. Just know that I'm praying for you. That's something that I'm actively working on. So I think about someone, God, wherever they are, whatever they are going through, hold their hand, bless them, guide them, be with them, because then there's this Holy Spirit telling me to sort of get in tune and in touch with you. So yeah, I do that. I do that a lot. I think this is something that I also started recently working on. For me, at a point, friendship was very transactional in the sense that you are my friend. When I do something for you, I'm hoping that you do something back in return. And so maybe I'm going to use YouTube because we are on YouTube or wherever I post this. So you're a content creator and I support you. The point was, when I start you need to return that favor, you need to support me back. And I think about some years ago, I realized no, you have to genuinely do things for people without expecting anything back. The friendship needs to be beneficial, but the friendship doesn't need to be transactional. I don't know if it makes sense. So you should benefit from being friends with someone in some shape, way, or form. But when you do something for that person, you do not want them to do something back, because people will not always do something back. It's my husband that made me realize that you will do something for someone and then you happen to need their help in that same regard, and they won't show up. And I'm be telling my husband, and I did this and I did that. My husband's like, no, you anymore would do that. But not everyone is like you. And so you don't expect that everyone will show up the way you show up. And when you learn this, it's easier to move on with life and not be fixated on things that people did. And I started working on that. So now I do things for people because I can do it. And genuinely at that point in space, in time, I'm able to help and I'm able to support. But I don't expect you to do the same thing back for me. And if you don't do the same thing back for me, I don't mind. Makes sense? And this is something I had to work on, or else most of the people that I call my friends wouldn't be my friends. Because now I realize, okay, in some way, shape, or form, the friendship is beneficial, but they would not treat me the same way that I may treat me. I may treat them, and it's not in a negative light. I mean, if it's going in a negative light, I'm going to run. And in that vein, let me talk about the fact that I'm okay with cutting. I'm used to cutting people off. I cut people off. I cut people off like, yo, I become used to that. When the friendship won't serve me, or I don't see any value in the friendship, or there are so many red flags, I'm able to cut you off. And it's something that I had to work on to be able to do that. First, I will cut people off and I will think about all the good things and I'll hold on to it. Or it will take me a while to cut the people off because I'm thinking, oh my goodness, well. But now I'm like, it doesn't serve me. There's no point. Done. Off. And that's something that I've really worked on. Also, I've become okay with not having so many friends. I've become okay with having just really few people that I know are genuine. What's the point of having so many friends that you can't trust them or you can't even go to them and speak with them? So I'm prioritizing when it comes to friendship, quality over quantity. I'm prioritizing quality over quantity. One thing I'm also being very okay with that my friend may not be my friend. So someone that I'm like, okay, this is a very friend might have another friend, which is okay, because sometimes when you call someone your friend or your very close friend, you want them all for yourself, but you can't have them all for yourself because they have other connections. And so you can't have them all for yourself. And I'm being okay with that. Also, last but not the least, I'm being mindful of what I tell people. Because people are funny. Well, human beings are unpredictable. And so you can't really fully be all out there. So I'm also learning be mindful because I trust easily, and so I probably would overshare. So I'm being mindful of what I share and tell people. Okay, let me know what you're also working on. If you think these are things that you need to work on, or you already got that in the bag and you have all your friends. I'm sorry, someone keeps calling me, so I need to wrap this up and give them the call. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Okay, until next time, take care. You are worthy, you are valuable, you matter, you are enough. Nothing lasts forever. Absolutely nothing lasts forever, and everything will make sense in the end. Please like and subscribe if you've watched to this point. Subscribe, join the family, and let's talk later. Bye bye.